What's poppin', man? It's your homie Bang. Back with another motherfucking quick note. So, first and foremost, man, let me say, I hope everybody in the house chilling and shit, man. Staying warm and shit out this cold and shit, man. It's too cold to really be outside, man, trying to do anything, man. If y'all are, be careful and, enjoy yourself. Another thing is today is December 23rd, 2022, right? Friday night. It's a new moon, I believe, in Capricorn. And this is the last of the new moons for 2022. And so, you go look into that, man, and see what all goes with this new energy coming in and shit. It's a lot of new energy and shit, and a lot of other things that got to do with this last new moon in Capricorn. And so, yeah, check into that, man. So I really wanted to get into a fucking what I want to say, a conversation about a certain topic that really molds and have molded like our whole history. You know what I'm saying? Like this topic right here got to do a lot with the history of our whole world, from generations to generations all the way back, to first civilization, you know what I mean? And so it's a deep topic, so it's going to be a lot of parts to this, and it's going to further let me go into a lot of different other things that kind of coincide and kind of connects with this. It all forms a whole picture, so everything this is going to do with this is connected. Everything I'm going to talk about after this is connected to this, and so this thing right here, like I said, is a big issue, and it's a major part of our life, especially of our culture now in today's times, right? So let me hop on into it, man. We're gonna start talking about the idea of image. So when you think of image, right, you think of snapshot, a picture, a portrait, a frozen image of somebody or something, right? It's an image. But when we talk about images go so far deep into the what I want to say, veins and the history of our societies. You know what I'm saying? Image go way back till like I said, in the first civilizations, when people were starting to separate themselves from the have and the have-nots. You know what I mean? The royalty, the family of royalties, and the peasants, the servants, the kings and queens, and the servants. And it goes back through Roman history, Egyptian history, Viking history, all through Europe, through all the, so it goes way back, like I said, through all our history, man. So image always played a part in how we molded and scoped and shaped our societies, right? And so when you come for that, you got to think about image, so like way back then, like I was saying, to be somebody of status, you had to portray this certain image or project this certain image of yourself, you know what I mean? And it was also the same with your family. You wanted your family to portray the most upright you know, and a law-abiding citizen. You wanted to look like, you know, you was God-fearing, you was church-going people. You know, you wanted to look like, you know, your family was decent. You know what I mean? So when you think about it, it's like, damn, way back then we started getting molded. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even our generations. These is multiple generations back. You know, and they was molding their family to act in a certain way, to dress in a certain way, to portray this certain image. No matter how you felt about yourself, the family as a unit, as a whole, had to come up with this image, you know what I'm saying, for themselves, right? And so when you get into image, and you know, this shit was funny because I had a couple sips right before I started, and I said I wasn't. And I had some, you know, definitions I was gonna get out the dictionary. I could have wrote the shit down. I just didn't feel like writing because I've been writing a lot of other shit. So when I looked in this one here, I was trying to look at it as I got the light and you know how it is in here. You know, can't really look at and read this book, so I had to get my flashlight, and I still couldn't see. I was like, damn, it's the fucking liquor. So I know I gotta calm down on the beer and shit. So anyway, I had to get to my other dictionary. This got a little more bigger typing in it. So yeah, the print a little bigger. So anyway, the topic of image. So let's see where I'm at. 6 minutes, okay, 7. So when you look at the definition of image, right? It says it say a representation of a person or thing, drawn, painted, etc., especially a statue. Then a second definition says the visual impression of something produced by a lens, a mirror, or etc. Then the third definition say a copy, counterpart, likeness. Number 4 say a mental picture of something, idea, impression. Number 5 definition say a type, embodiment, as he is the image of laziness. And it goes on and give, you know, things like that. But we all basically know what the definition of image is. If you're not, you know, you got Google and anything else close to you so you can look it up. So then you go to say, so image. What else is connected to image in that wording? So you get the word image, but you also get the word imaginary. And remember, when we was young and we was kids, imaginary, that was a frequent word that we used. Not only us kids, but the adults, you know, use that word with us frequently. Imaginary friends, imaginary this and that. And so when you look at the definition of imaginary, existing only in the imagination, unreal. And so you say, damn, the word imaginary means existing only in the imagination, unreal. You know what I'm saying? And you say, damn. Okay, so imaginary, image, you get that. Then you can also get from image, you can get imagination. And so when you look at the definition of imagination, you get the act or power of forming mental images of what is not actually present. The act or power of creating mental images of what has never been actually experienced, or of creating new images or ideas by imagined creation of the mind, a foolish notion. And so then you can get so many other words. You can get imaginative, imaginative, having, using, or showing imagination, able to imagine or fond of imagining, of or resulting from imagination. And so, like I said, so when you think of image, you can go into all that. And so when you think of image, you think of how we portray ourselves, how we project ourselves in the world, right? The image of you. And when we all think of image, we think of the physical image, the appearance, right? How we look, how we dress, you know what I'm saying? The image of us, our nationality, you know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. And so image becomes like, when you think about it, how we imagine ourselves is basically how we form this character that we are. It's like way back in the day, I wanted to be a firefighter, I wanted to do this. I imagined that I'm gonna be a superhero. I imagine that I'm gonna be a teacher. I imagine I'm gonna be a doctor. We all imagine the shit that we wanted to be. And although everybody didn't, fulfill that imaginary thought that they wanted to be when they was a kid, the thought was there. So we imagined, and we got detoured along the way, and that's gonna go further into what I'm talking about. And so the image, the imagination of who we want to be, who we are, who we think we are, the imagination, the imagery, you know what I'm saying, the image or persona. And I'll come back in a minute with a part 2 of this, I'm gonna get to some of my notes and go further into this shit. So just think about that, the definition of image and where they come from, and how it connects to imagination. Image, imagination, imaginary, you know what I'm saying? So your boy Bang, man, part 1. I'll be back with part 2, man. Yeah.